of World 3. Hey, the Pro Gaming Yoshi. How are you doing? Three, two, one, go. This is a Sega Saturn video game that many of you guys probably never heard about. It's been barely talked about on the internet. It's called Bug 2, a sequel to a platformer game called Bug. Thinking it's safe. It's a platformer. It's a 3D platformer, but you are on rails, so it's kind of more of a linear platformer, and everything else is sprites, because the Sega Saturn was a very powerful machine back then. Could not handle everything being 3D. And this was made in 1996 during the golden era of having a mascot, a video game mascot everywhere. I think this was created as a mascot for the Sega Saturn. At least the first game. They tried to go far with the first game, but after the sequel, the game just... this series in particular just vanished off the charts and it was never heard of again. It's kind of a shame, because this is a childhood game of mine and I had lots of fun with it. Oh wow. Yeah, when this game got released, I was 6 years old. I think I got the game in like 1999 or something like that. 98 maybe. It's a very obscure game.
None shall pass.
Watch where you're putting that.
Keep hitting the wrong buttons every time I do the first split. Like habit at this point. Yeah, I think it's a bit of an underrated game. When people talk about Sega Saturn, they talk about the few Sonic games, Nights into Dreams, Cycle Skip, Nights into Dreams, Panzer Dragoon, Shining Force, Virtua Cop. I think there are like a couple of other games like they're really remembered from the Sega Saturn era, but I have like what 20-ish games that came from my aunt, and I'm still missing lots of games that like that. So yeah. That was fast. I have this game, Knights, Rayman, Tomb Raider, 2 copies of Tomb Raider actually. I have Need for Speed. I think it's like the very first Need for Speed. Did. have Hexen, which is kind of a Doom clone. SimCity 2000, Sonic Jam, Sonic R, Sonic 3D. All the 3 Sonic titles, actually. Snip. I have a couple of others, but I constantly keep forgetting about my Sega Saturn library. It's been that big mostly thanks to my aunt, who just kept accumulating games. She also had a Sega Saturn. I think this one, Rayman, Knights, those were the games I spent the most time on. The other games, not so much. Now you're up there, stupid butt. At the checkpoint, I don't have to do this. It's all but jumping this level. Okay. See if I can finish the run now, so I can actually play some Salmon Run later this evening. I want to play with some Eliter. I like playing with Eliter. Oh yeah, I still have a boss. It's the hardest mini boss in the entire game. Brace yourself. Wait, where did it go? Where's the boss? Hello? It was supposed to be a boss there. And now for this world's boss. Clear this boss and I will move to the next world. There are 6 worlds in total. Let's not be idiots this time. Oops. Already being idiots.
insectal.
No, just me losing just me dying in general. Deaths can be very costly in this game because of how sparse checkpoints are. Also, this is like what? This is me going for my third completed run now. Oh no, fourth completed run. I was about to die there. Stupid clown. Ah, I missed the cycle because of the clown. Oh, I bonked. Choke Central. I bonked on the top platform, okay. As far as RNG goes, there's like a couple of moments where luck... Oh my god! Can I stop? You know, depth perception is hard. This game doesn't really do a good job at solving that, but... Fine, I'll take it. There's a boss later down the game where you need the things that the boss spawns to be able to hurt them, and that can be a little bit random. And the next world, there's a jump that seems so perfect that I suspect that there's some kind of luck involved into that. Either that or there's a setup that I'm missing. But it's super ridiculous. Other than that, there's not much luck, it's just platforming and cycles. I think most cycles are global, either global or when you approach or when the camera approaches the place.
Die, Western. Come again. Die, insectal.
Oh my god, can I stop falling down? Nice. See, that's like those. Because I didn't have to hit the checkpoint, I went all the way back to the beginning. Let me try something. Oh, okay. That's a skip. To figure it. Could do something like that. Need to go here. I can go up here. Avoid these weird guys. If that's a bug of some sort, I really don't know what that is. They make this weird noise too. If you go down below there's a stunt bug power up which gives you invisibility for a bit. You can use it to go through all this. But it's a detour to collect that, so you won't be getting that. Maybe we can actually do something.
Sting me!
Yeah, you can do that. A little skip. All of these things I'm just figuring out while I'm running. Hey, good question. Are you familiar with the Sega Saturn? That's a game from the Sega Saturn. This is a game from the Sega Saturn. It's one of my childhood games, actually. Sega Saturn was my second console ever, and my aunt also had a Sega Saturn and bought lots of games for the Sega Saturn. This is one of them. Seems to be like a 3D platformer of sort, starring a bug called Bug, literally. And apparently this guy, at least the first game, this is like the sequel to the first game. The first game is a lot more ruthless with the platforming, and apparently there's going to be an animated show of this too. So apparently this character was to be like the mascot of Sega, or from the Sega Saturn at least. He seemed to be quite iconic at the time, but after this sequel was made, the series just faded into obscurity and was never heard of again. I guess Sega just decided to stick to Sonic by then. Fun fact though, Sonic does appear in the first game as a cameo. I don't know, I guess it's that golden mascot era where every company had a mascot, gaming mascot. This was probably gonna be the mascot for the Sega Saturn, but I'm not quite sure. Might be speculation on my part. Yeah, it's a Saturn game that's currently being run on an emulator, because I have no way to capture my Saturn, and my Saturn is kinda in bad shape. I'm just running just for the fun of it. It's something I wanted to do for the longest time. Oops. It's a weird game. Like very cartoony-ish. Also, that's a late split. Yeah, there's no page of this. There's a bug page, but only one person has made a run of it, Runix. I've seen her runs of the first bug, and it's absolutely mind-blowing. Bug 2, however, I've seen long plays on YouTube. There's a guy I saw yesterday that was doing some routing exercises for this game. It's like the most content you see from this game on YouTube. Like, other than that, it seems so obscure, like no one else talks about it. It's kind of sad, because I like this game. Even though a certain level is owning me hard today when it comes to running it. I can make it stop. I'm not sure if that wall is on a global cycle, but every time I go fast, I just have to wait for that wall. Yeah, I could make it. I'm just wondering if I should actually like open the page with an emulator run. I'm not sure if that's the correct thing to count emulator runs. But then again, Sega Saturn seemed to be, at least like the second Saturn I have here is my second one, and it's already failing. I'm guessing at this point it might be very hard to just get a Saturn run going. Yeah, yesterday I did offline a playthrough of this on the Saturn. It took me 3 hours and a half to finish the game. Longer loadings, more frame rate drops, and can you shoot, please? I don't want to be swallowed by a plant, thank you. Longer loads, more frame rate drops, and also my console just kept not reading the disc, so I had to restart worlds constantly. This is quite painful. At least on the emulator it's a lot smoother. But yeah, look it up. Bug and Bug 2. Both with an exclamation mark at the end. Just some platformers from back then. Oops.
Makeup jerky.
Should jump off. Skip. Hey. You have to go all the way around. Jump over some water sections, drop a bridge, and then push a block and have the block carry you all the way over there. But you can just make that jump. And just skip all that instead. Now I would read chat, but I have to pay attention to this. This level is actually pretty rough. It's the hardest level in this world. And wait for that bull. If I stand here and the bull is on the left side, I get knocked into the water and so dead. Like on the previous level, I could stand on the water, but this one I can't because there's like a deadly fish inside that can kill me. So the gimmick is to stay out of the water, otherwise you get eaten. It's a brutal death. Oh, that was close. Also, why is the end of the level a bus stop sign? Just don't ask. I don't know. It's the same thing in the first game, but I don't know why is it a bus stop. This should be end of the world. Once you complete all the levels, there's a pathway on the overworld that opens that leads you to the boss. And then you clear the boss and you move to the next world. Basically, the premise of this game is Bug is an actor. And he's going through all this to make like a movie of sorts. In the first game, there was always like also a movie premise where Bug was an actor. He had to save his friends, quote unquote, from a villain called Queen Cadaver. In this game, you just have like six worlds are based around movies and stuff, and it's just that really. Just go all through all 6 worlds, film 6 movies in one day. Also, this guy is Twitch chat worthy.
You're desecrating my space. Stop that. Stop that.
3 hits.
Stop that. You're desecrating my space. Stop that. Stop that.
I ain't stopping, right?
Really?
Stop that. Now we're in space. Implosion. Implosion seems pretty cool. From what I saw in your stream. But your stream is like the only thing I saw of the game. Yeah, Sonic was always the mascot, but I don't know why. I guess they wanted to experiment with something for the Saturn. Just like how Japan had Segata Sanshiro for the advertisement. I don't know what was in Sega's mind. They sure tried to go through to some... It seemed like they went through experimental phase, basically. Small skip. Can jump over the hurdle there and land over here, which skips a small maze. I have to go through. Now here comes the stupidest gimmick ever. Invisible platforms. There's a skip you can do here, but it's a very tight jump. And I kind of forgot the way. I need to be going right. Little checkpoint, then skip to the... If only I stopped talking when I actually need to focus. Yeah, all the way back to the beginning. And when Bug dies, there's a silly FMV that happens. Just Sega Saturn things, I guess. But this I'll be behind. Actually, no. My PB has a very... My PB takes the invisible pathway part very slowly, so I can still catch up and be ahead. Careful the missile. It's a very tight jump. Good thing I have this to actually help me track the way. If I didn't have this power up, it would be very hard. Also, these comets, they might seem annoying, but the purpose of these is to actually help you point the way. If a comet comes from the left, if a comet is going to the left, it means you have to turn left or go down. If it's coming from the right, it means you have to turn right or go up. I forgot where to go. This is so disorientating. After this, you have to go left, I think. Yeah. I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna jump across because there's another checkpoint here, which saves another bit of the level. And over here is the end of this awful section. I know I have to explain a lot because this game is not very well known and stuff, but I hope you guys are keeping up nonetheless. This is a chill section, just have to wait for the elevators. Jump. Take it over here. Walk around. Basically you have this terrain, but there's like, do you see like the perimeter around the blocks? It pretty much indicates that there's a corridor, so if I try to walk up here, for example, there's a wall that will stop me. And how I can tell is by the way the ground looks. Also, small skip here. Made it. It's kind of easy actually. There's a thing I do there, which is called air turning. I'm not sure if it's like an intended mechanic, but if you tap B, usually when you jump right, for example, you can only go right or left. And if you tap B and then hold a different direction, you can change your direction mid-air, and you can do that to get some neat skips here and there. Oh no, spider. When was the last time Ristar was shown? I know Ristar was from the Sega Saturn. No, it's not Sega Saturn. The Ristar was still Mega Drive, right? Or was it like a Mega Drive add-on, like the 32X or something? I don't think it was 32X. I'm gonna skip this time. I don't need the power up. Genesis, yeah. I call it Mega Drive just because that's how it's called around here. Which game do you guys think is cooler? The Genesis or Mega Drive? Wait. Alright. I was more fond of Mega Drive for some reason.
I need a raise.
Gravity mechanic, are you working or not? You? Here. I wonder if there's a way to skip on here. Must be on the lookout for all the skips. Oh, you can jump off there.
I need a raise.
What does it mean? I know if I fall down there, I'm gonna die. If I can air turn into the direction, would that help me? This just sucks. I have to waste time just because I can make it in time. There are lots of lines and stuff in this game that I still don't understand. When I was a kid, I certainly didn't understand because my English wasn't that developed yet. Even then, like, now that I'm playing through this, like, some of the things he says is just very hard to understand. I was almost being shot there. One HP, 1 HP. But yeah, basically Bug is an actor. So I guess the Ray's voice line makes sense. This like the whole character and stuff, now I think about it, is just pretty weird overall. Need all the HP I can muster, so I'm just gonna take it slowly. I have to be careful because standing underneath the cannon will crush me. And crush is instant death. Not yet. The jump is in 2 levels from now on. Grab that heart, please. So scary. Like, this is probably the level where you take the most damage. You have to be careful with your HP. You'll see when you get there. When we get there. It's gonna be very soon because the next level can be entirely skipped. It's kind of a shame because it's kind of a cool level. Some cool stuff you can do. But there's also like some very slow parts. So skipping the level, I'm completely fine with it. It's just that it's the one jump on scene 5. Like the very ending of scene 5. Just keeps killing me. Yeah, you can go through the loop, but because there's no invisible wall backwards, you can jump back and you end up landing on the path that leads you straight to the finish, effectively skipping the entire level. Otherwise you have to go like all the way around, like a large square. Only to get on that path that's right next to the beginning. So yeah, a bit of an oversight by the devs. At least Twitch chat will not get nauseous after going through all those loops. This level though, this PB that I'm competing against did this first try. The last run, the last completed run I did today, I lost like 20 lives finishing this level. So I hope I figured out what I need to do by the point I get there. Otherwise I'll be... I would like that life. Thank you very much. Makes me wonder. I'm curious about something. Can you do... Okay, this is a life lost, but it was all for the name of experimentation, okay? Let's do that again. I don't know. I think if you like barely move and then jump, you get a very low jump, but if you move a bit, you get a higher jump. I think that's it. I'm not getting enough room to get the jump. I'm getting this live, but afterwards I want to experiment something. Like, whoops. You can go here. I figured. You don't need to drop the bridge, you can just land on top of that and then skip the bridge. But if I want to do that fast, I have to skip the life as well. Which I guess you don't need 2 lives. You can get another life further up. Also, yeah, we're flying in space. This is why this is the driver license exam. These car flying sections, they are actually the bonus stages of this game, but you won't see any bonus. It's like special stages, not bonus, because there are bonus stages as well. I'm gonna grab this life because I'm low in HP and I might likely die, so at least gonna be net positive. This section. Cool. That section, I remember it being super easy on the Sega Saturn, but for some reason I'm not getting it correct today. Also, my PB already finished this level. Deaths can cost so much time. Simply due to the sparsity of checkpoints. It's an old gen game, you know. You need to earn those checkpoints. I say no, don't need spit, but I have the spit anyway. I'm gonna kill this guy so I can actually time myself here. Okay. Sometimes I can adapt by not doing a high bounce. And this is the second and final driving section. If I die, which is most likely gonna be the case, there's a little thing you can do when you respawn from that checkpoint. Is you can hit the enemy that's right next to you and enter the car while still flashing, and you won't take any damage from hitting the rings on this section until the ride's over. Now here comes the jump. This is the stupidest end section of a level ever. I already fell off. Like, those blocks, they can even move either move slowly or move quickly. And if they move very quickly, it's going from step by step is just a very excruciating experience. So I try to skip most of those blocks by jumping, which to me feels kind of like luck whether or not I get a good landing. And then after that, what? I need to go to the last block and make like the most ridiculous jump ever to make it to the other side and get the goal. You see, it feels like a perfect jump. I need to run, I need to time my hover at the exact same time, and just pray that I get there to the goal. See how shaky these blocks are? Imagine doing this for every block. I would just never get out of here. Wait, what? I didn't know you could stand on those red blocks. I don't think I could have recovered from there. I did this first try on my first run, and then never again. Just keeps owning me. I'm just gonna play it safe. I'm just gonna go from block to block, even if it's like the most anxiety-inducing thing. Everything's fine except for this level. I don't understand. Just that section there is just why. Like the entire game is hard but fair, but that section there is something that you're moving upwards where you are away from the screen, so your depth perception is put to the test. So doing this just feels very agonizing. I'm just gonna do the jump to skip this. Calm down, please. Can you stop shaking? Guess not. At least it's not plus 15. At least it's not that. Also, I guess you get to life for getting 1 million points. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, if you stand on the middle of the block and do a running jump, you see that the character has no acceleration, right? You get to max speed almost instantly. But for some reason, if you jump for like the middle of the block or from the very edge of the block, the jump you do is fast but doesn't have enough height, so you don't get there. You cannot reach there. Just so dumb. There's no other jump in this game that's as dumb as this one. Hey, at least we can relax at this level. I'm not sure what this level is supposed to reference, but hey, you're riding a space buggy that can shoot. Ain't that cool? Except for not shooting much, because you stand still if you shoot, so it's slow. We can go slow. So I'm just gonna use this guy to tank our hits, go through this maze, slowly march our way to the goal. This guy has his own health meter. It's displayed on the bottom left corner, where my health meter usually is. Gotta grab a life here. And when it reaches 0, the guy simply explodes and I can move around freely again. Whoa, that was some weird knockback. It's important that I pick up another of these guys quickly enough, because if I get hit by a fireball while simply being bug, I die instantly. So I need these guys to pretty much keep me safe. I could imagine being able to run through this. Just take me out, please. I need full health, because there's a mini boss up ahead. There's a bigger version of these guys. Yeah, this boss has a fixed pattern. He walks around a bit, then starts walking and shooting, and then he starts jumping to your position and shooting at the end of it. He's already dead, so I'm just gonna tank the hits. You have to be careful though, because if your buggy dies, your space buggy, shooting buggy thing, whatever dies, you cannot get another one and you're pretty much dead. You cannot defeat the boss anymore. So you're either forced to suicide by going to the right, where the hole opens in the ground, or you take a hit from the boss and you die instantly. So, boss time. Why is this called the definition of insanity? Well, you'll see. I like the mini boss. I loved it a lot when I was a kid. This guy. Only way, there's no way to kill it. The only way for it to get killed is to have him shoot the pillars.
Bye-bye.
And have the platforms fall into them. There's also that guy that's running around with the... seems to be a drink. But that guy also hurts you, but if you touch him... But other than that, yeah, you just have to wait for the guy to literally try the same thing over and over again, but failing at it.
Relax.
You have to knock all of these down to be able to kill the boss.
Relax.
If you walk too far away from it, it'll teleport towards you. It's not where I want you to go. That's the weirdest set of teleports I've ever seen. Can you come here, please?
Mellow.
Okay, he teleported. I'm not sure how can I get this boss fast enough. It seems like an annoying thing to route. You can also shoot it from the side, I think, but I should probably try that. Let's see. Now it kind of refuses to shoot, so yeah. Yeah, this is pretty much the definition of insanity, is just doing the same thing over again, expecting different results. It's a boring boss. I don't like this one at all. But yeah, World 4, Circus World, has my favorite team in the entire game. What sucks, however, is that we're not playing this world. There are 3 levels here. And this is the boss gate, but if you do this, for some reason you could just sneak into the boss gate and do the boss right away. It really sucks because it was my favorite world. At least you can hear the music here for a bit. Oh. Bye. Yeah, hit the switches and it will release the platform and the guy will just fall into his room. Now for the second to last world in the game, and here we have the worst level in the game. I hate this level so much. It's the longest too. I think this PB takes like 11 minutes to finish this level. And it's improvable because it has like what, 2 deaths or something. It's underwater world. And the gimmick behind this stage is there are 5 switches in the entire level. You need to open all 5 of them to open the gate to the finish. You cannot finish this level without opening all of the gates. So I have to... Yeah, it's a long track. So up here there's 1 switch. Yeah, you can go out of the water too. It's a fun gimmick, but it does nothing but visual because the underwater physics are the same as the overworld. Why do I keep failing this part? Like, I'm in free falling state, so I can't do much. Just dead. Yeah, I'm killing these chainsaw fists just because the sound effect is so annoying. If I keep that one alive, the third one, I would go to this section and the sound would still be ringing. Just annoying, really. But yeah, if you go to the right at the beginning, you end up seeing like the main path. But if you pick up this switch here and then go through this path, you can get to the end of the path. It's like kind of an alternate route. And I like taking it because it makes it so that I don't have to go back and forth on the main path to collect the switches. Although this section is quite tricky. I need to jump so I can get enough height to reach the bubble and avoid those spikes. If I hit those spikes, it's dead. It's dead, yes. Very, very dead. Hit this lift here. Allows you to go back to the underwater. When I hit this checkpoint, there's another one that you'll pick up very soon, but also frame rate. To land on this top block. Nice. Yeah, there's another one here. I want the checkpoint just to save my switch progress. Technically, if you die, the switches still remain pressed, so you can actually do some death. Oh my god! You can do some death abuse to quickly warp back to a checkpoint after getting in a switch, which you can probably see on a later switch. I'm just gonna ride this one then. This section is annoying. Yeah, there's a lot of gimmicks like that. There's the chainsaw fish, there's the hammerhead, which are literally sharks with a hammer. These marine monkeys, I'm not sure what they're referencing. Need to pick a ride. I need to go over here. Those things detonate when you approach them. But in the second level, you'll see that they will operate a little bit differently. They won't explode as easy. I'm not sure what they are, jellyfish or something. It's so weird, the marine life here. You could probably do a small skip here. I could just ignore the elevator and try to land on the ground below. Every time I try that, for some reason I just fail to land and die. I'm just gonna take the lift down instead. I need to practice that for sure. Over here there's another switch. But this one is like a puzzle behind it. You see that life over there? During all my time playing this game, I don't know how to reach that life. It seems to be a puzzle here. Like you open this switch, and then go to the right here to open this switch. But that, as you can see, that revealed the lift there, but I don't know how to reach that lift. There's like no obvious passage to there. Which is pretty weird overall. And with this I have only 2 switches left. I still need to know exactly which switches are the ones I really need. Because I have the feeling that I might be picking a few of them that are not needed, per se. This one here is a bit of a doozy. You have these appearing and disappearing blocks here. Well, fortunately these have a fixed rhythm, so it's kind of easier. But swapping from one block to the other is still very nerve-wracking. Because you need to time it right. Because if you do it too early, you'll fall past the block. And if you do it too late, oh yeah, you end up dying anyway. This one I don't really mind. I was just experimenting there a bit with the movement, but that abuse is a bit faster than going all the way back. And going through here, we should be near the start, and we have this gate section here, which is all those blocks here, 1, 2, 3.45, 3.5, what? All those gates there were lowered by the switches we found along the way. So we had to travel through the entire level just to open up that passageway. And we got this in 9 minutes. 2 minutes saved. Only 1 dead. It's a very hard stage. I'm surprised it ran that well. Now for scene 2. Scene 2 is easier than the first level, at least less tedious. But as far as platforming goes, it probably has some of the harder platforming in the game. I don't know how to avoid that guy. Just tank a hit, I guess. Go fast. Yeah, in this level, these guys can be bounced on. These jellyfish. And you'll see that reappearing quite a bit. I go through this. There are two paths through this level. I'm taking this path simply because there's a life that I can collect. Although I guess at this point I probably don't need as many lives because I'm pretty healthy. But considering there's a boss, the boss of this world is very annoying. I just never know. Just take the life for safety. You can take a life or can take like several lives to go through the boss. Here. I panicked. I was about to say, you're gonna take it easy, and I panicked because of the monkey, and yeah, that happened. I'm gonna try to do the bottom path at some point, see if it's any faster. I don't even know where you get to. Can't remember. See, if only the level creators added more things like this, it would be a lot better. That's like a controlled pattern. The pattern on the space level is just why. They have some interchanging blocks. You can do a skip here.
Watch where you're putting that.
I wait for that saw. If I got hit, I would have died. And we're nearing the end of the level. Just going to these seesaws. There we go. I still put it don't choke because, as you can see, my PB lost like a lot of time simply trying to brute force fast threat. Now, as long as we clear this boss, we should be pretty okay. Because the last world is not so difficult. Yeah, we have C Donkey Kong. Yeah, this guy, you have to wait for him to summon crabs so you can actually jump, bounce off the crabs and jump on top of him. Those monkeys in the background occasionally throw projectiles at you, which can interrupt your bouncing. And when you're bouncing on top of the king, oh my god! When you're bouncing on top of the king, those monkeys will always come to his aid. So the problem is if you keep messing up bounces like what happened there, you just get killed very quickly. And I think world record is what I currently have, but I'm using emulator, so it probably doesn't really count. Just like an emulator run. Yeah, as you can see, landing on this guy is very difficult. The crabs that move left and right only allow you to move left and right. The crabs that go up and down only allow you to go up and down. The up and down ones are the easiest to abuse, but yeah. I think this guy's like what, 5 or 6 hits. But because his cohorts always go to his aid, and because depth perception is a thing, it's surprisingly easy to die to this boss. It's a very hard one. I can't use this crab. The thing is, the guy also slowly marches towards me, so I need to be careful where I position myself. Okay, that's... Donkey Kong is dead. You can still die when the guy falls, so be careful. I had the winning run earlier today where I ran into a crab afterwards and I died. I had to redo the boss fight. Yeah, now we have I don't know what the hell this world is. This is like the most tripping world out there. It's a night fever for sure. It feels like one hell of a nightmare. So this stage has like a little bit of everything. It's like some weird gimmicks, like you shrink by collecting a mushroom. Where have I seen that before? You have some weird Cheshire cats and you have the frogs from the first game. They say Mao every time. It's a very weird level, I don't know how to describe this. Getting high world. Saturday Night Fever. Yeah, maybe that's the reference. It's a Saturday Night Fever. It's a Saturday being a bug. Meow. There's one cat over there in that section that... Oh, there's a black block down there. Nice emulation there. Gap in the texture. You have to hit those switches in order so you can go through. And these propellers are insta-kill, don't touch them if you can. Of course, conveniently, you have a chase scene where there's an insta-kill thing going after you. And these things being in the way. That clapper there, I think it's a very big journey just to get the clapper. The clapper serves to continue. So when you run out of lives, you can continue once more. But I don't want to go up here. The end's right here. Yeah, there's like lots to explore there. Embrace the LCD. Yeah, it's a very crazy place. Like there's that crane thing over there. Mushrooms and psychedelic colors everywhere. Now the last level of the game. This level can be skipped. And I found out yesterday while just experimenting on my Saturn game. So there's the goal, right? But you get carried all the way to the top. Along with frame rate to slow down. You would think, how can I get down there fast enough? And turns out if you use a special technique, you just turn around there, let yourself fall, then you eventually warp back in and get to the end. Easy. That's why I called it free falling. I just like that was like the first spot I tried during my playthrough, and I was like, oh, this allows me to let me fall all the way down to the bottom. Well, I'll take it. Any skip is welcome. Also, whoa, I should have walked into the platform there, but the boss started immediately. I kind of wonder how many emulation errors there are. The game seems pretty accurate, but there are some there's a few wonky things compared to the Saturn, playing this on Saturn. Also, yeah, boss, 3 caterpillars. These are totally not from Alice in Wonderland too. And there's popcorn falling from the sky, because why not? I guess this is a movie after all. This guy can be a bit annoying. The pillar goes up and down, so you have to wait for it to come down. And his smoke attack has a long range. You need to take 1/3 of the HP to finish them off, because there's 3 of them. If you need to, you can go all the way back up there for full restore. Although ideally only take that after the first fight if I'm struggling. One more. Also, when these guys are on the floor, they can do special smoke attack sometimes. It depends on the caterpillar they're fighting. Just kind of tank it. And done. Smoking shishas. Yeah. I think my dad has one of those. Yeah, that's it. You beat the game. All the actors are happy because the filming has finally been completed. And then you see the director lying on the floor, completely drunk. Bam, bam. And then you get credits, but you also get that cutscene there. I'm skipping it because after the credits, that movie will play again. So I'm just gonna let the credits roll first, and then you guys can see the movie. So yeah, I like this game. I'm kind of a bit sad that the bug never took off after the Sega Saturn. But who knows, in an age where Bubsy and Spyro and Crash are being revived, who knows if this guy will appear again. Also, these are all names I just don't know about. Wendy Kurko. And Ledaev. Heather and Thompson. Jake Watt. Seem like British names, no? Oh no, Los Angeles, never mind. Saying there. Oh, Hi-Fi feeling generous today. Thanks for the sub. Now you have a kitty cat emote again. Sega Soft Team. I think Sega Soft Team doesn't operate anymore. Oh yeah, that's the line from the Circus World that you never end up seeing because we skipped the Circus World. By complete oversight. Lame. Video compression in this day and age? Come on, guys. The videos actually look pretty good, even for... I think back to the Saturn. The video quality at least looked pretty good. Pretty okay at least. Can't say much for the 3D quality, the 3D animation quality. I guess it was good enough. Yeah, you should totally do that. More kitties. I kind of wish I could actually add all 3 emotes to the $5 tier. Because to me, just having 3 emote slots would be being where everyone can use the emotes would be a lot better than having one emotes per tier. But yeah, just Twitch things. The Bug One team. I kind of said I don't have the first game. I only have a demo of the first game. But there's a run on speedrun.com of the first game that you guys can watch. The runner did some really good grinding on that game, and the game is really hard. I think it's way harder than this one. Also, no insects were harmed, as they say. Yeah, this movie. Just got. I think some people here already watched it, but you guys can watch it again, I guess. It's something, I guess.
There you are, big fella. Come on over. Sit down, sit down. Can I get you anything? Bottled water? Arugula? Decaf frappa cappuccino? No? Okay, well, let's get to it. Here's my problem, big guy. I've had my people read through the scripts you sent me, and you know what I'm not seeing? I'm not seeing anything that says bug! Oh, they say bug, but that's a bug my fans have already seen. Take
Exterminator!
You know, the one with that cybernetic whatever thingy guy from the future who travels back in time to...
Spray for insects!
Sure, it's fast-paced, exciting, but it isn't exactly a stretch for me. I do this.
I do this!
I do this. I do the cute little walk. I spit on the robot. Save the world, get the ladybug, yada yada, the crowd goes wild. Oh, I can do that all right. Hey, I'm a professional interactive actor. Just point me and move me. But isn't there a little more to bug than that? Isn't there a little sophistication?
My name is Buck. James Buck.
How about a Mission Insectable type story? I've got a smile as good as that Top Gun guy. Cheese! Historical drama, sweetheart? Hello? Where's me bug heart? Freedom! Mills' butt's got nothing on mine. How about it, big guy? I need to grow. I need to stretch. My name is Forrest Bug. People call me Forrest Bug. Run, Bug, run! Maybe what I really want is to direct. And...
Action!
Or maybe I just want to improve my golf game. Now get out of here, Boobala. Make it happen for me. Love you, babe. Of course, I'm just saying that. I don't really love you. I like you all right, but love is just a score in a tennis game. Whoops. Maybe I should take up tennis. Can you send over a personal trainer? Hey, what's Sly doing these days? Adrian! Oh well, call me. We'll have lunch. Tuesday at Morton's? Love you, like you, babe.
And that is the weirdest reward for completing the game ever. Yeah, that's it. That's the game.